Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. Finny here from Finny's Homebrew Brewing, in my garage at the moment. And look, hopefully you can see that. It's a bit dark, but my tap's fitted. And I'm just looking at my regulator. My regulator's set to about 14, 16. But look, running the gas. So hopefully it doesn't run out too soon. But the tap thing is awesome. Like, because that's at full, and when you use it, I don't know if I can actually use it, and you see it at the same time. Ooh. We have a nice head. And a nice bearing top. So this little beauty, it's still probably the first 2 or 3 litres out of the keg, but that is a Sculpin grapefruit clone that I did, which I am doing a grain to glass video on, which eventually will come out. This is literally been in the keg 5 days-ish, I think, so not very long, so still pretty early, but the good news is, what else? You can have a look in here. What's in here? In here is Tamarillos and the old brewing. So that's, it's got a little bit of positive pressure. It's not a great deal happened so far in there, to be fair. And then this is the cherried, or my original Flanders, which you can see has got plenty of airlock pressure. This is actually blown out a couple of times. But you can see the, I don't know if you can see very well actually, but the cherries that are sort of sitting there at the top are losing their colour, which hopefully is going into the beer, which is great. And then here, this is another, this was the first barrel beer that we ever did, which was a red IPA, which I put into here, and I've just sort of kicked it around a bit. So this was my original Flanders yeast cake. This is a 19 litre, I don't know if you can see it, quite a nice sort of shape thing. So that went on the original Flanders yeast cake, and then what did I do in September? So this is only October now. I had 700 mils of the Allagash dregs that I've been culturing, plus some amalgamation dregs. So you can see there's a nice particle on top, there's a wee bubble there. And this is just basically sitting here, probably sit through summer. I'll let it do its thing, and then probably keg it up at the end of summer. So that's pretty much it that's going on in the garage. But yeah, just trying the Sculpin clone, and chilling out, basically watching some TV. So we'll probably go back to the shop now and do some other bits. A bit of fun. Alright, take care. Bye. Rightio, so yeah. So that will be back in the garage. So for those of you that have been watching my channel, you know I have a beer engine, which is perfect for parties and that sort of thing. But at the moment we just sort of clamp it to the wall, to wherever we can find. So the plan is to use some of our old kitchen, which is all old Remu, like this. It's all like plank Remu, it's great stuff. What I'm going to do, hopefully, at my woodwork night class, is to build a cabinet to put it in. So, I'll give you a tour. So, hopefully, these bits used to be struts. These are a bit rough cut, but we can get these sanded down and sorted out. So they're the legs. That hopefully will be the side or the back. A side. These two in the front will be the back, and then a bit of the extra bit, like, because these are a little bit too wide, so the offcut from that will then be the other side. And then we've got some nicer pieces here to be the front, or we've got some smaller pieces here as well. And then the piece de resistance on top, we've got this lovely big slab of macrocarpus. So I think we'll probably have about, this much or however much on the top. And then the beer engine will be permanently mounted in it. So hopefully over the next think it's 5 or 6 weeks we've got this night class is open. The plan is to get this thing built, and then on the last night at the thing, test drive it with a beer. So this is the cool thing. We've got this cool bag here, which is really thick walled. It's a really good one, but that's where the bag will sit. That will have the beer in. So it's got to be big enough to fit that, which it is. I've just measured everything out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It'll be probably the most complicated thing I've ever built. I built the odd thing, but not a massive amount. So I'm looking forward to that. And then hopefully at some point, I don't know if I've showed you guys this, I'll sort this thing out. This is an old display thing from Lion Nathan, which is a brewery over here. But it's got all sorts of shit in at the moment. But you can see it's got taps and pipes and all sorts of fun stuff. But the case is a bit knackered, so we'll sort that out as well, hopefully. So busy times ahead at the on Wednesday nights. But I'm looking forward to it, really am. So stay tuned, and then hopefully as each Wednesday progresses, I'll be able to show you what I've done, and hopefully the end result. So stay tuned. Yeah, so that was on the weekend when you saw me in the garage. And last night I actually did the first part of it, but I will catch up with what I did in my next video, so stay tuned for that one. Right, so Michelle's going on around here at the moment. I need to probably brew some beer because I'm running out of stuff, he says. But I want to get a bitter done and a lager. The bitter to go on the beer engine for the last week of the course, and the lager because I've been promising myself I'd do a Pilsner lager for a while, and haven't got round to it, so I need to get round to it. So we'll get onto that soon. And then we've got a demonstration day in November when I'll brew probably a Flanders red, so I can get that cracking into one of my carboys to be aging, and use the other half of that slurry that I had from the barrel, because it's good shit. And then yeah, just catching up with brewing stuff going on all the time. We've got our next beer, Enigmatics, in the bright tanks at the moment, so that will be launching probably the weekend, if only goes to plan, the weekend of the NHC, the 7th of November. So for those that have entered it, good luck. I think I've got 7 odd beers at the moment. Basically just rooting around the place and finding what I've got, and just making sure what I'm tasting is potentially what they're tasting. So we'll see if my pale ales and IPAs are up to scratch. So yeah, high hopes. We'll do a proper video on that at some point, and I'll run you through what I've got. So the last bit I've got this week is the second part of my funky saison. So I think it was last video I did the first part of it. So this is the second lot, just going into the keg to then sit and be merry for probably 6 months. Probably keg it at the end of the summer, or what I think I might do is fruit one part, so put half of it into a glass fermenter with some fruit, and then so whatever's at the end of the summer there should be loads of good fruit hanging around in New Zealand. Maybe even try that for Joa, stuff like Jace. And the other I'll just probably keg and see how it tastes, and then bottle it from there if it's any good. So yeah, that's probably it for me for now. Enjoy everything you're brewing, and if you're not, brew better. Take care everyone, see you next week. Bye. So here we are, we're just doing the second transfer to fill up the keg. And if we put the thing on, you'll see there's a wee bit of a pedicle that's formed since last week. The beer that's going in at the moment, as you can probably see, essentially, is a wee bit cloudier. It's not quite finished fermenting, but that's a good thing, because then it'll help scrub any oxygen that's in there, and just sort of yeah, that's the plan anyway. Because it's with the carboys and stuff, when you fill those up, it's a lot easier because there's a neck, whereas this thing, it's just a big old flat surface, so any way we can just reduce that amount of oxygen in there, the better. We don't want to get it too acidic, because those bugs that we put in are going to be quite aggressive. So, but yeah, it seems to be going alright so far. We've got, a couple of litres left, not too much, and we are quite close to the top. Put the light on again. So hopefully we'll get another couple of litres in there, and we're good. Finished at 10:10, so there's a wee bit of attenuation to go. I expect with the Brett and stuff we'll get a bit more. Alright, I'm going to finish this off because I'm a balancing act at the moment, and I'll catch you later.